Oh, hello guys and welcome. What if I tell you that Ukrainian people still have a weird tradition that during Soviet times gone to extreme, and it's not Christian one, it's like pagan-ish, like folklore tradition. And if you see it now, right now, you will consider like every year pilgrimage of Jewish people in Uman like, kindergarten playground, not from the sacred sense, I mean from the cultural sense. So, welcome, I will represent you the tradition that called Hrobky. And it's literally translate like tiny little coffins. You will ask me, Jane, why should I be surprised? And I will answer you, because of this. Let's see together. One day in a year, Ukrainians are going to cemetery and eating there, drinking there, and cleaning the graves after. Also, they are doing photos on the cemetery and leaving the food there. And they are doing it with the whole families and calling this day as Coffin Day. It's weird. Yes, guys, you heard me well, and if you bring the outsiders to see it right now, you probably hear the jaw-dropping reaction or somewhere cultural coma. Yes, but actually before Soviets screwed this tradition, it was called Radonytsya. In Orthodox tradition, it's a day when you are praying for your relatives who passed away and leaving the prayer notes in the church. Also, you are bringing food in the church so other people can take it, eat, and remind your relative in prayer. But actually, the real tradition Radonytsya was celebrated week after Easter, and it was both mourning days and the days of joy, because people were believing they are meeting their ancestors on the cemetery. And after the week of celebration Easter, people from the eastern part and central part of Ukraine, they were like doing these Eastern cakes once again, and bring eggs and cake to the cemetery. Yes, cemetery became as a symbol who linked the generation together, and people were believing that after the week of Easter they celebrated another Easter of Jesus Christ together with their relatives that were passed or depart together on the cemetery. At least they were believing in it, and even in my childhood my mom told me that she will enter the cemetery from the front gate because she believed, according to the people's folklore, that the ghosts and souls of the departed one were waiting her there. Guys, originally as a pre-Christian spring rite, Radonita celebrated as return the dead souls to share the season of renewal. And people left food on the graves and people were communicated. The families were gathered on the grave and they were eating and were praying about their loved ones that passed. People were asking their departed ones to give them protection also. Actually, this is paganism, very similar to the Halloween ones, when it was celebrated by Celts. However, when the Christian came to the Europe after 1988, the Orthodox Church incorporated this tradition into the Eastern cycle, keeping the rites but giving the Christian meaning to this holiday, and name Radonytsa was translated like to be glad, because you are giving understanding to your departed ones, the departed relatives, that Christ conquered the death and they should wait for the resurrection and we will wait with them. So we clearly see here the difference and mix of tradition on Ukrainian land, because the Remembrance Day and All Saints Days is celebrated on the 1st of November on the western part of Ukraine and Transcarpathia region due to the Catholic influence, like Latin Catholic Church influence. And we are seeing that the Remembrance Day and Radonytsya is celebrated or commemorated after the Easter in the central part, in the eastern part and southern part of Ukraine. And the moment of attention. I'm grateful to everyone who supports my YouTube channel with financial donations, guys. Thank you, I appreciate it. it helps me to buy additional stuff and gear for my YouTube channel and helps me to buy something for my mom. So in case you like and subscribe on my channel and want to support it financially, it's not mandatory. Please proceed to description of this video and find PayPal and buy me a coffee links. Appreciate it. And also put the notification bell, because YouTube algorithm has changed already again and again, you know. We never beat the algorithm, but we can be friends with algorithms, guys. Okay, let's continue. Of course, different calendars between Orthodox people and Catholic people made this date actually very distant from each other. However, my mom told us that they also started to do Remembrance Days twice a year. So she went to the cemetery and also cleaned the grave of our departed relatives in the beginning of November, and she will also go after the Easter. However, Soviets guys, they decided to erase all the Christian from this tradition and put it to the obscure, because Soviets are assholes. Did you remember, and do you remember now, that Russians, as the ancestors of the Soviet Union, actually, they are not creating something new. They are not embracing that. They are not like doing something beautiful. They can only come to somewhere, to some place, and destroy it. So what Soviets have done? From the 1940s onward, the ritual became civic. Soviet government told all local communities and local consult governmental building and mayor administration that this celebration should be only secular ones. It is just only Remembrance Day, so people please bring food on the cemetery, clean the graves, but no praying and no church sermons. So years passed, and by the end of 1980s, this cemetery gathering included food, drinks, like a lot of alcohol, loud noises, loud voices, and some entertainment. And in 19s, guys, I still remember they were widely spread. And I have seen that it was the only day when people were like brought out from the cemetery, not in, because some people were annihilated by the alcohol, and I'm not joking. In my childhood, I still remember that once a year we were going to the cemetery and all people were going with us. We brought the food. We even put a horilka in the cup and put a bread on this cup and put on the grave. And I did not understand why we were doing it. When I asked my grandma, she told my grandma did it and my mom did it. So we should do it also. However, now what I've noticed, when we reduce the influence of the Russian churches in Ukraine, or churches that link to Russian patriarchy, this tradition became more Christian, because Orthodox Church that received the Thomas autocephaly from the Constantinople, they were trying to educate people. They were saying that do not bring the artificial or plastic flowers. That's looking cheap and pollute the atmosphere. Bring the live flowers, and people started to do it. They told, please do not drink much. If you want to remember your relative that passed away, you can drink like water or a glass of wine, no more. So do not be drunk as fuck on the cemetery, because it's only increased the crime rate, because some people were fighting on the cemetery because all the families were gathering together and they had some, arguments, or the family gathering can be a lot, But Ukrainian people, especially Gen X and boomers, they are slightly superstitious. When my friend Carrie came to Ukraine, she told me that she noticed that we are not celebrating birthdays before the birthday date, actually, because we are believing that it will bring bad luck on us. And we do not like black cats because, it's also bad luck. And we are not passing anything like salt if we are standing on the different sides of the door, because we believe it will offend some spirits in the house, and we are knocking on wood. Yeah, So, and talking about some superstitious rules at that day, people were saying that you should not work on ground, like do manual job on land, because it can bring the bad harvest or even death of the person who is working. And they are saying do not look back on the cemetery, because you can catch the spirit of the dead person and bring it home. That also can cause illness or even death. And also do not use fork this day, because it could offend the dead souls. That forks are associated with the evil trident, so we should not use it at that day at all. We will eat by the spoons or even by hands. Yes, guys, it was in the villages. And also they were telling us not to use like glasses when we are drinking, and do not click glasses, because it will associate it with the bell ring to the soils and it might fry them. So people were like drinking and standing without the clicking and saying toasts. And I think it's reasonable, because if you are mourning, you do not need to be like very, very happy to say the toast and click the glass like, hey, I'm glad that I'm here on the cemetery, you know. It should be the quiet day when you are remembering your loved ones and you are hoping for the resurrection. And of course, why people were leaving treats on the graves, like food on the graves? Because they were believing that souls are hungry and they would like to eat together with relatives who are alive. But now we are just sharing this food with our neighbors and with our family members, just to eat and like talk and remember something good about this person. So we are not so superstitious now, because of the work of the church that educated us. So guys, this was it for today. Thank you for watching my channel and my video till the very end, and thank you for like bearing and coping with my strong Slavic accent. I know it's very thick for you, but I'm trying. Yeah, and thank you for kind words about improving of my English, guys, in previous videos. I see all your comments, and when I have the mental capacity to respond on all comments, I will do so. Please just forgive me, because my mental health now is not in good state, and I'm still trying to push through, but I know that I should be more careful and more kind to myself. But I always feel guilt if I'm not dedicated at least 1 hour a day to my digital service. Yeah, because it's very important for me and important for my country, guys, and I like to do it, but sometimes have no mental capacity to do so. So thank you. It was not the therapy session, but thank you for listening, and shall see you soon in the next one. Bye bye, and God be with you.